And we're live.
I'm 6'2".
Are you in the market for a new car?
What do you? Oh, the new Supra looks sick.
I just bought this motorcycle. I've been riding it so much that like I really don't need a new car.
Have you been riding it a lot? I've been wondering. I didn't want to ask. I was afraid you didn't want to say.
No, I ride almost every morning. I rode this morning.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I rode today too, but probably not as much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go far. I usually just like zip to a certain part of town, and there's like an industrial park that's always deserted, and I go out there and like do lots of maneuvers and stuff. I like to just do like just round and round like tiny little donuts as fast as I can, and like try to like change the lean angle and see how it feels, and just get used to like I don't know, doing lots of different maneuvers. Like I tried to pop a wheelie for fun. That was interesting, but mostly I'm just like
on asphalt or grass?
Asphalt for sure. Yeah, it's a street
scary.
bike. Like just doing a little bit of everything, zipping through traffic a little bit. I haven't taken on the interstate yet. I'm still like a little tentative about that because my interstate's a little different than the average interstate, right? Like it's immediately 4 lanes. It's immediately 4 lanes of like heavy traffic.
You have an interstate capable bike. Like it is
for sure
there. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. The speed isn't an issue. It's just there's a lot of cars there. And I really prefer just going out. Like I'm close enough to like the country that I'm like 5-10 minutes away from being on like nice, slow, curvy roads with like grass fields on either side. That's a lot more fun riding to me than like going uptown and having cars on 360 degrees, like constantly on a swivel.
I have
Can you lane split in Georgia?
No, only Cali can do that.
I hated driving in California. Having motorcycles just.
It is not bad because most of the people who lane split in a reasonable way, but there are 1 in 50 lane split like a fucking asshole. And every now and then I think, oh my God, like if you don't know, like you're allowed to drive mostly in between the HOV lane and the left-hand lane, or the left-hand lane and the middle lane. Like you lane split in between the fastest lane and the whatever, because there's more space over there with the double yellow lines for HOV and stuff. People lane split on the slow lane or on like the right side, which is not what you're checking as a driver, especially if you've not driven in California. You're not even looking for biking. And you're at fault if you're changing lanes and you hit a lane splitter. Yeah, so it's just like a really fucked up scenario.
You're at fault if you hit a lane splitter?
You are at fault for hitting a lane splitter if they're splitting correctly.
What if he hits you? Like if you cut in front of him and he hits you, which is probably more likely, is faster.
I mean, that's exactly what you're talking about. You're still in the wrong. Like if I am in the middle lane, switching to the left lane, hit my turn signal and I merge and he runs into me, it's my fault. If I'm in the middle lane, going to the right lane, the slower lane, and I merge and he hits me, it's his fault. But the ones that I'm talking about are the ones that are lane splitting at 50 miles an hour in the wrong lanes. Like it's impossible to keep track.
So lane splitting is not legal here. I hardly ever do it. The exception is sometimes at a traffic light I will. Like to
get up front.
I'm just surrounded by cars and they're scaring me, and maybe like 2 lights in a row and I'm still surrounded by them. I'll just go to the front of the line and zip off the front.
That's what I was going to say. That's when I feel like lane splitting is a great idea at intersections and stuff, so that you're not just stuck in the pack of cars.
Right.
Like it's so easy for you when everybody's sitting still, mind you, to just go around them, get to the front of the red light. Now you can zip on out of this intersection and get to where you're going. You're a lot faster and more maneuverable than everybody else is. Just kind of makes sense. You're not going to run anybody over.
And also like you're going to be off the line faster. If you're in city traffic or stop and go, you absolutely will be at the front and the first to the light every time. So it just makes sense. You're going to cut your commute time in measurable limits by doing it.
Yeah, I do it for safety though. Like that's not my motivation usually. I feel like I'm invisible. You guys all weigh 3,000 pounds. I weigh 400 on my bike, and I'm just like 500. Yeah, whatever.
No, I was gonna say the cars are 5,000. And I'm 500. Like it's
something outrageous, right? And you know, there's I keep forgetting the name of it. It's like observational blindness or something like that. But people are looking for cars.
Right.
So if they look your direction on a motorcycle, they might not see you in a way that you hope they would. So you're invisible, you're vulnerable, just get away from everyone. So
I don't want to get hurt. Like I really love riding, but it can be stressful sometimes because like I'll see jackasses on the road that like clearly didn't see me. And I'm just like, that guy could have killed me.
I bought a dirt bike.
Could have sent me off the fucking road
like a month ago, and it's a 300cc KTM XC 2-stroke for the few of you that know what that is, and it is a freaking fire breather. My motorcycle. It is so powerful and it is so light. I'm on it, and I'm like, who allowed me to buy this thing?
It's like a liability.
Bearing in mind, that's only a 300. Like there are bikes that are so much more powerful. Like, it's scary.
This is top of the food chain. A 2-stroke 300 is more than like a 450.
Holy shit! Okay,
yeah, it is. It is top of the food chain. I'm 48 years old. I feel like I'm not old enough to have this thing yet. I feel like they should
grow into it.
You should need to be an adult to have this. And here I am. I'm practicing wheelies on it in my yard, just ripping around. And it's dangerously easy to do a wheelie. So I'm not good at wheelies, but you kind of like compress the suspension, rotate back, apply the throttle with the right timing, and the wheel comes up. On my DRZ, that's how I do it. Again, I'm not good at it, but I'm practicing. On this thing, you just twist the throttle and hang on, and it goes up way too high. To get the wheel down, there's two ways to get it back down. You can either hit the brake, which you do if you're good and you have your head clear, or if you just roll off the throttle, usually the engine compression serves as a brake and puts the front back down too. 2-strokes don't have that kind of engine compression. So not only does it come up super fast, if you let go of the throttle, it doesn't really come down on its own. It just, it'll want to loop off the back. And I'm doing wheelies in my yard, and I practiced for like 20 minutes, and then I put the bike away knowing that it was running well for tomorrow. And I felt like I dodged injury. Like
yeah, you're like, wow, I'm okay.
Yeah, all right. We got away with it.
If you come off that thing though, at least you're in grass.
Yeah,
I am. Yeah.
I'm so stressed about coming off on the asphalt. I did see the other day, I was watching, I don't know, like the different degrees of motorcycle racing. I saw this Reddit video though where they're bike racing. Like on the super fast bikes where they're like leaned all the way to
the GP, GP.
And the guy leaned so far over that he just started doing a little donut and petered out, and he was just like clearly incredibly embarrassed. He gets the bike up and takes off again because he's leaned so far over that the bike stops working and just sort of does this and turns around on a dime and stops moving, and he's just got to get up, stand it up, and go again. But that's the softest, least dangerous motorcycle wreck I've ever seen amongst that stuff. I showed you guys that video the other day, right? Of the slow motion of one bike flying in front of the other and missing it by inches.
I saw this on Reddit, yeah.
So fucking scary. So fucking scary. I don't know. I wear all my gear all the time. I see everybody else wearing not nearly as much gear as I'm wearing when I do see riders. I saw two Georgia cops the other day. I don't know if they were highway patrol or state patrol or whatever. They're wearing fucking short sleeves and pants. They don't have any gear at all on. They got boots. That's it. Boots and helmet.
Yeah, but they're on the hog rider, like
the Harley
bikes,
or
the ones with the saddles on, or
the Honda.
Not that. No, I'm just saying that I don't think they're taking aggressive corners in there.
I mean, I'm not either. I'm worried about somebody hitting me. I'm worried about somebody sending me off the bike. You
could not pay me to get on a motorcycle. I think they're super
cool when you get to where you're going. You don't have to be cool on the bike.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. I think if I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not. That's why I took that class, and the class was really fun. And 3/8 of the people I think in the class quit after day one, and they had everybody was like, "Oh, you really wasted a lot of money. That was $450 for the class." They didn't even show up for day two, and I was thinking they definitely should have completed the class. But I think they saved money because they didn't go out and buy an $8,000 motorcycle and then decide, well, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Or crash it.
This is terrifying. Or crash it. Yeah, crashing it would be the worst possible thing.
This is the video Kyle was talking about with the slow motion low side.
Watch this guy. Bear in mind, this is a professional.
Look, he just did a wheelie.
Yeah, this guy's a fucking pro. And yet...
He's like, well...
I hope no one saw. No one saw. No one saw. No one
Is
saw.
anyone looking? Yeah. So you still enjoy the low speed parking lot maneuvers?
Yeah. I like seeing just how far that motherfucker will lean over, just holding the rear brake and just working the throttle and the clutch and just seeing how slowly I can make those tiny little 90-degree turns and stuff like that. And the bike is moving at a crawl, but it'll just stand up, and it's shocking with the centrifugal force that you're creating between the throttle, the clutch, and the rear brake, that like it'll just stand up here. All right, the bike's going and like leaned over, wheel turn.
I want to see it. I wish you had video. I'd be super curious. I wonder, like, you might have surpassed me in this
there's
area.
plenty of times where I'm just like, oh no, and like putting my leg down. I'm just like, oh, no one saw. Good, that's good.
Dude.
That's good. No one saw that.
So I was at camp. I don't know if I told this story, but I bought a tall seat. This is it has more cushion on it, which I thought might be nice. And it sort of extends the rider triangle, the grips, the foot peg in your butt to stretch you out, make it more comfortable. Cool. The trouble is when the bike tips over on a tall seat, your foot doesn't touch the ground as quickly. This is already an adventure bike that's taller than average. So now I have a tall adventure bike, and my foot, when I touch the ground with my feet, they're not flat. They're like on the toes of my feet, but I can touch the ground. We were moving the bikes to get in line for a picture at camp, and I had this fuzzy thing that makes my seat softer. Then on top of that, I had my jacket. Then on top of that, I had my gloves. And since I was only just moving the bike around camp, I thought I'd sit on all of that stuff.
Oh no.
Dude man's dog gets in front of my motorcycle. The guy brought his dog with him, and I had to like emergency stop so as not to hit it. I can't touch the ground sitting on this like tower of mattresses. And I dropped the bike in front of everybody. Oh. And I felt like an idiot. Whatever.
I mean, it's an adventure bike. You'd have really felt like an asshole. You crush his fucking dog. I don't know. Right? Like it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but like I think I'll enjoy it more when I move, maybe if I'm in a less populated area, because I enjoyed it a lot more when I'm like out in the country, just zipping along country roads, going at whatever speed I feel like going, whether it's 40 or it's 70. Yeah. Than I do like when I'm like in town and there's cars everywhere. Like I'm not a fan of that.
You're gonna love the scenic driving routes in the mountains in Colorado, because, and I also identify with that too, because it's fun to go drive, and then sometimes you're feeling it and you want to push it, and other times you just kind of want to drive, and it's nice to have the option.
I'm thinking about bringing my gear with me to Colorado and renting a bike, because a couple of the guys that are going with me also ride. And I looked it up, and I can rent a Ducati Scrambler, which is like one of the bikes that I had been wanting to play with anyway, but not purchase. And I can rent one of those for like $90 a day or something like that. And it's like, I get that thing for 2 days. I get that thing for 2 days, take it up to the mountains, and then maybe zip around town a little bit when we're sober and have a good time. So I may do that. May not. I don't know. I got to see how everything's going to pack. I've got big suitcases, but I'm bringing my lights and my cameras and this laptop and keyboard and mouse, and then like clothes for a month, and it's going to be tight.
One thing that helps motorcycling, Kyle, is when you build out your wardrobe. Ooh. You know, like when you've got your mesh jacket for the hot days and your mesh pants, and then you've got your like armored cargo pants for when you're going to say go to a restaurant on the other end of your drive and you don't want to look like an astronaut. Yeah. Like when you build out that whole wardrobe, that makes motorcycles better. My jacket is mesh. I could probably step the jacket up a notch as far as protection goes. Although when it has padding where you want it. Yeah. I really don't think you need padding on your stomach. Like if you're laid out so flat that your stomach is dragging the asphalt, like you got bigger problems. But, you know, like your shoulders and your elbows and like parts of the forearm and like maybe spine, maybe not. Yeah, actually, yeah. There's a whole like thick pad back there in the spine. Like all that shit's padded up, and then I do put on the astronaut pants over some jeans or some sweats or something like that. And then I've got
these like snow pants, or what are
kind of like they're thick as fuck. They're like they like my that's why I like to ride in the morning, is because if I go out in like the middle of the day when it's 80, 90, hot. I got to drink like a liter of water before I go, and when I get back, I'm drenched. I like just to go. I went on like a 20-minute drive, and like get off on the other end. Haven't even came back yet, and take the jacket off and just like sweated through a tank top. Like the whole tank top has went from gray to like black. It's just like stuck to my skin. Just super fucking sweaty. It gets hot. It gets hot on that fucking bike. Not really when you're riding, but the stop and go out here. I hate the stop and go.
I was doing wheelie practice in my yard, not even for long, like 15, 20 minutes. This is a few days ago. And when I came back, my wife was like, did it rain? Because my back was that sweaty. Like a gray shirt turned that other color of gray when it's wet.
I don't sweat that much. Do you ever know somebody who like sweats a shot?
Like
my father,
like
my
beat
father
it up on their face.
My father would run every day, and when he sat down, he would puddle on the hardwood floor. Like you'd have to towel that area afterwards.
That's me.
That has that. Or if I do a garage chip, no, I can't because I have somewhere to put my car and my bike. Like it's gonna have to be indoors in a room somewhere.
If it's Colorado, it'd be nice to have a like garage for your car and stuff because you're gonna have a real winter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You can't park outside. Just a nightmare, especially with a bike. I guess I could put the bike like in my living room or something like that. Like you can just pull it.
You don't want to do that when you own the house, right?
Why not? It's not
gonna drip
oil.
a little, right? Isn't it?
I mean,
mine gets dirty. I don't think mine leaks oil either, but I just
think about after like a winter ride and you've got all the salt on the road and stuff. You don't want that.
Yeah, if it's dirty, if it's actually dirty when you bring it in, that'd be a problem. But then I just ride it into my like shower and wash it in it.
The whole
the casual shower in there.
I have a car wash shower. Oh yeah, those are trendy. I like this. No, I actually wash cars in mine.
Yeah, just ride it through the kitchen, into the living room, through the bedroom, into the bathroom. Just pop a wheelie, hop in the shower with it, turn the hot water on.
Can you wheelie yet, Kyle?
No, it's dangerous to even try. No, it's dangerous to even try. But I have tried, and it's a little bit scary. I get a little squirrely. I don't know if the tire lifted off, but I took off real fast when I was.
Did.
So on either side of my driveway, there's a drainage ditch. Call it like a foot deep. That is a long ditch that goes along the side. I think it's called a swale. Anyway,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So on my KTM, the thing that wheelies so well, you lean back, you hit the throttle, and it screams like wah! The tire goes a foot in the air. The rear suspension is doing who the fuck knows what, and you just glide over this thing. I am a passenger in this whole situation. I don't really know what's happening. I've just floated over this obstacle with way too much horsepower to weight ratio than I really know what I'm doing with. And I did it again and again and again and again. It's a blast, but
you're playing Trials Evolution. Like you're literally doing trials.
What's your goal with it? Like, do you want to do trail riding? Do you want to put like, street tires on it and ride it around town? What are you thinking?
So this is my trail riding bike. I have 3 motorcycles, and this is the trail riding bike. Today I tuned the carb to make sure it was ready for tomorrow. I'm going trail riding with some friends.
Nice. That's cool.
Dude, I'm getting carried in real life. I want to go on a motorcycle trip in Mexico, but apparently it's actually dangerous. And there's this YouTuber who appears to be motorcycle camping like 300 days a year. He said he was going to Mexico. So I wrote him an email and told him I wanted to go with him. And he said yes. He's always solo. I've never seen anyone in any of his videos. And I'm like, I wonder if I can get a real life carry.
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
Said yes.
He's like, I just spoke to that rich gringo we talked about.
Oh, yeah. This guy's from Arizona. But yeah, so
I maintain the accent then.
Okay, 40 times around FTA. I think we might go motorcycle riding together in Mexico. It should be neat.
That's cool.
If you get ransomed, it's going to be such a great show topic.
Oh yes,
it would be. Yeah, I'll tell it to my wife. Like, honey,
should we get
good news, bad news? Bad news is we need $45,000. Good news, isn't it funny though?
I think $500,000 is usually what they ask for. I think that's the going rate for an American. I was watching a thing about Afghanistan the other day.
We can start a GoFundMe.
That's what I was gonna say. The
RSK,
Patreon.
Baby, we got this.
We can take up $500,000 to get Woody back.
I mean, that's in the show's marketing budget, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Smart Mouth is now sponsoring the release of Woody from
Smart Mouth is how Woody got into this problem.
Woody's been held captive for 37 days, but he just hasn't brushed his teeth once. But after one rinse from Smart Mouth, kissably clean breath.
Yeah.
That would be awful. Like prison sucked, but I was just thinking like how awful it would be to be held captive by a fucking terror cell or something like that.